Welcome to Hot Flash Chronicles, where midlife is messy, menopause is madness, and we're sweating through it together.
We're Angie and Shelly, two caffeine-fueled, slightly inappropriate grandmas who say what everyone's thinking.
So grab a drink, crank up the AC, and let's dive in. Angie!
Shelly!
Guess what time it is?
It is 12:08.
She always does
And
that.
it's also time for another episode of Hot Flash Chronicles podcast.
Yay!
And this is, I think, episode number 36.
I have lost track. It seems like...
No
It
surprise.
seems like so many. We've got a season's worth, I feel.
A season's worth at least. So if you haven't been here before, my name's Angie.
I'm Shelly.
We have been besties for 16 years. And we got our topic today from somebody that was on one of our TikTok lives. And they said we should do an episode on firsts.
I love it.
So we also currently are...
I'm scared.
You're scared.
I love it.
But we have control over what we talk about.
We do.
We are also currently going live right now on TikTok off in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want that riveting content, you can join us on there.
And
But today we're going to talk about firsts. So there's lots of firsts that we have in life. Some of these, I'm not sure I even remember because I'm almost 52. And some of these firsts happened when I was a teenager.
oh dear.
So do you
dear.
want to start us off?
Okay, let's get ready. This is a first. Just us doing
This is a first.
yeah. So I'm going to commemorate by talking about some other. Here's our fancy list. Okay.
We also have ones that we
Ooh.
had discussed, like first kiss.
Yeah. First boyfriend. Oh my gosh, these are exciting. Okay. Our first pod episode.
First pod episode. Do you remember what it was? We dropped 5 at once
Yeah, we
on.
dropped 5.
So this St. Patrick's Day that just happened, so like 3 months ago, when we launched the pod, we actually dropped 5 at I think that our first one that we recorded was Celebrity Crushes Then and Now.
I think it was. I
Right,
don't know if
which
we
is great.
dropped it in that order, but I think you're right. We wanted to go with something easy. We knew we would be able to.
If you
talk
want to
about.
hear a lot about Jason Momoa,
Yeah.
that's the podcast
Obviously,
episode for you.
Angie's comfort place, her safe place, her I can talk a lot about something place is Jason Momoa. Obviously. So yeah, I think that was our first that we actually. I don't. know
I
if
think
we
that's the
dropped
first
it
recording
first,
we did.
But
Yeah.
that's where we kind of figured out how the heck maybe we were going to do this.
There was a lot going on. We were recording on a phone.
Oh yeah,
And a
Things are
laptop.
different.
So we were doing the video on a phone.
Yeah.
And
It's very
we,
professional.
we had a lot of, we've done, this is, I think, our 35th or 36th. So we've learned a lot of things.
Yeah.
Over the
Very
last
good
few
learning
months.
curve.
So, but the first few are, the audio isn't the best. Probably. It's debatable.
I don't know. Maybe the lighting's not as nice. I don't know.
We definitely didn't have proper lighting, which is embarrassing because I'm a photographer, but it's fine.
We've gotten past it. We're in a much
Everything's fine.
better place now. So let's go to, this is a fun one. Let's do our first bestie. Who was your first best friend?
My first best friend where I was able to, I wasn't a toddler.
Mm-hmm.
Her name is Chelsea. I actually did a photo shoot of her son a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And she called me Owie and I called her Chowie. So it was Owie and Chowie.
Oh my gosh.
So she's a lovely person.
You had a Brangelina name. You had like a couple's name. That's
We
awesome.
talked a lot about boogers,
Okay.
as kindergartners
It's okay.
do. We were in brownies and Girl
We talk
Scouts
about
together.
farts now we've moved up in the world. So
Have we? How about you? Who was your first bestie?
Her name was Carrie,
Mhm.
and she was a very, very nice person. And after I moved away in 6th grade, we would still talk. We moved to different towns.
Mhm.
But when I was little, my mom was a certain religion that I can say my mom was a Jehovah's Witness. So Jehovah's Witnesses do not celebrate any
Right.
holidays, any birthdays, anything
Mhm.
like that. So of course, if you're a child and you go to school and everybody else does those things and you don't, you kind of feel weird.
That would feel probably very left out.
You couldn't say the Pledge of Allegiance in the
Wow.
morning. So our school, everybody stood up in the morning, did the Pledge of Allegiance. So you felt very different anyways.
Mm.
And she was my best friend from like kindergarten through 6th grade. And she and her parents, her family were very kind. Like I was kind of a little bit of an outcast. It made me kind of shy.
Oh,
well, because you can't do all
well,
the
look at
things
you've come into your own so well.
My goodness.
Boy, have you blossomed in the last however many years.
Since my
How
mom
old were you then?
Until I was 12, my mom was a Jehovah's Witness.
Gotcha.
So, but they made me feel, they were very understanding of that. And they always made me feel very, in quotes, normal. And she would be,
like accepted.
Yeah. And it wasn't that other kids weren't mean to me or anything.
Right.
It wasn't like that. It's just, you have a feeling that you're different, and that puts out a certain vibe.
And as a kid, if you feel like you're categorized as different, that's really hard when you're just learning how to be social and you're learning how to interact with people and you're learning what friendship is. And you know that there's a big division in something that's really important to people. That can be really hard as a child.
Yeah. I felt like she was very kind and somebody that will always be special to me, even though we're not in touch anymore. I don't know I could probably go Facebook, Google her, but it was one of those
I have
reasons.
Chowie on my, otherwise known as Chelsea. Yeah. I have Chowie on my socials.
Yeah. Season in her lifetime. That was definitely somebody who was a very important season in my early childhood. So,
I love that.
So yeah.
Okay. What else we got?
Oh my gosh. First car. Let's do first car. Those are fun.
Oh my gosh. So my first car, I believe we paid $300 for it. We fondly named it the Banana Boat. It was a 1978 Mercury Monarch that seated 13 almost comfortably.
Almost.
Yeah. And my friends would yell docking out the window when I would park. It was large. It was cheap because my parents thought if you're going to hit the drive-through post at McDonald's in your first car, we want it to be one. Like this is the one that I learned how to do oil changes, learned how to, do some stuff on my car because my dad was in the car industry. So it was intentionally something that was meant to be beat up. Yeah. But, yeah, I can't say I treated that car well.
No.
For sure.
No, you didn't.
I sold it for $75 to a friend of mine.
Perfect.
Like a year and a half later.
Lovely.
How about you?
I was so excited when my dad told me I was 15 and a half, and he said, I'm going to get you a car. Because we lived out in the country, and the car was kind of a necessity. They had to drive me around everywhere. So they were excited for me to get a car. He says, I'm going to get you a Corvair. Which a Corvair was.
Is that like a knockoff of a Corvette? I've never even heard of that.
You guys will probably know what a Corvair is.
I was in cars for 20 years. I've never heard of a Corvair.
They were kind of a cute, sporty little thing. They were a knockoff of not a Corvette or something cool, but I can't remember what the brand was. I'm sure people watching will know exactly what a Corvair. It might have been a Chevy or so. I don't know. But I was excited because even though they didn't make them anymore, and this would have been in 1983, they weren't making Corvairs anymore. But they were kind of cute and a little bit on the sporty side. And so 3 or 4 days later,
oh boy,
I come home to my new car. It is not said Corvair. It's not. What it is a Country Squire station wagon.
What happened to the Corvair?
I don't know. But
you still don't know, and you'll never know.
My Uncle Herb, who is maybe part of the Aberdeen.
Is he still around?
No, he just passed away. No, he's old. They were old. They're in their 90s. They're 100. Yeah, they'd be real old.
So you just came home and your car was gone?
No, I never got the Corvair. It was supposed to be at my grandma's house because my Uncle Herb, the used car salesman, was going to make this deal. But apparently the Corvair went to someone else. And I got the Country Squire station wagon, which my parents decided, same thing as Angie's, this will be better for you because it's safe. And if you bang it up, it's not going to be a big deal. It had the main seat in the front could seat 3. You could get 1, 2, 3, 4 in the back seat, and then in the very back,
we would stack people on each other, like my friends and I.
2 seats popped up on each side that would have been the back of the station wagon. So 2 seats popped up where you could have 2 more on each side, 4 more people in the back. So 8, 9, 10, 12 it could seat 12.
So mine was meant to seat 6, but one time we got 13 in there because I was driving with some friends in the trunk.
The Country Squire
willingly.
station wagon was made for people who had 29 children. It was big. It could seat 12.
Wow.
It's like a bus. So that was my car. It was my first car. And the back.
So I feel like the Corvair wasn't, in fact, your first car.
No, it was the Country Squire station wagon. And the back were the two jump seats, or whatever those are called, jump seats.
Yeah, jump seats.
The car had lived in Ocean Shores, so the bottom, there was a little bit of it rusted out where you could see the road.
We called those rust buckets in the industry.
Yeah, you could see the ground like Fred Flintstone. You could put your little feet down if you wanted to. It was a nightmare. I was so embarrassed, and we called it it had all kinds of names, none of them nice. There was nicknames for it, but same thing. It had to be docked when you went to park. I had to pass a driving test in that and parallel park in that.
I got to use my mom's Fiat for my driving test, so that was at least a little bit better.
Imagine that.
Which was about a third of the length of the.
I passed my driver's test. I did not pass the parallel parking portion.
That tracks.
Yeah. So, and it was real expensive to run, and gas went up weirdly in the 1980s, and it was kind of a nightmare.
Yeah.
But it got me where I need to go, me and 12 of my friends.
I love that.
So.
Okay, what's our next first?
Let's do one that's, that's interesting.
She's just seeing these because we got these as requests.
First heartbreak. Your first.
Oh, like real heartbreak?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. Not like, we were in junior high, and like my first real heartbreak was somebody named Adam. I was in high school. He was in a band. That's how I met Nirvana and Pearl Jam and stuff. I was a high school senior. I was certain I was going to be with him forever. He was so dreamy. He was from Hawaii. He was just this beautiful human. That's probably why I like Jason Momoa so much, because he reminds me of Adam. He was my first love. He was my first of a lot of things. And I was just so head over heels for this person. He was 20 and I was 18. And he had an opportunity to go on the road and because his roommate was going to be the original drummer for Nirvana, but he declined it because he thought they weren't going anywhere, which he was a little pissed off afterwards. But Adam had this opportunity to go tour the States with a band, and he just picked up and moved and didn't tell me. And I was devastated.
Yikers.
Because I thought, this guy was my whole world. He was everything. And his friend told me a few weeks later, because he saw I was not okay. He said, the reason he didn't tell you is because he knew that you would drop everything and go with him. And he didn't want you to give up your chance at college and all of these things. So he didn't want to take those opportunities away from you. So that was very kind of him. And every once in a while, well, not in the last decade, but people would be like, oh yeah, I ran into Adam in California. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't need to know that. I hope he was wildly successful. He was my first love for sure. But that was my first heartbreak when he just up and moved.
Yeah, that would be
I was
rough.
Devastated.
That would be rough, buddy.
That was rough, buddy.
Goodness.
How about you? Who was your first heartbreak?
Oh, heartbreak. Gosh. It's really, I don't feel like I've ever had a super broken heart.
Really?
Yeah, I've had relationships that didn't work out, but I don't know that I've ever been in that devastated place. I don't think that I did. I do remember a little bit in grade school. That's what I'm going to go back to. Not any of these adult relationships.
But you were super heartbroken, apparently.
Apparently, a thing did happen. I think it was in 5th grade. I had a crush on a boy, and I remember his name was Jim. I don't remember his last name now, Jimmy. And he was very quiet. And as we are when we're in 4th, 5th grade, of course, you tease the person that you like.
Sure.
And you don't want them to know you like them. And I kind of had those kind of feelings for him, but I don't think he knew that he was my secret boyfriend at all.
He wasn't aware.
I don't think he knew. So one day out in the play yard at the playground, I grabbed his end of his coat, like his arm was still in it, and I spun him around. Like, you know how you grab somebody and
Yeah.
you did that to goof around with him,
Mhm.
because that meant I might get to touch his wrist or something. I don't know, whatever I was thinking. I might get to touch my secret boyfriend that doesn't know he's my boyfriend. And
He
I
was so
spun
secret, he didn't even
around
know.
so hard, because I was probably so excited, that his arm came out of the thing and he spun around, and then he like fell and he started crying because he hurt himself. Like, I hurt him. I didn't mean
Well,
to.
that's not good.
I didn't mean to.
And that was the end of your secret
It
relationship.
was. And I scared him so bad that he never would hang out with me ever again. And he couldn't make eye contact because I made him cry on the playground in front of I emasculated him,
That tracks.
unfortunately.
I mean, it tracks that he wouldn't
It's happened
like
to a
that.
lot of men since then, but not for that reason. So it was, I was really, but that I felt, it wasn't just heartbreak. I felt so bad that I embarrassed him, first of all. And I was like, and I didn't even know how to form the words to tell him how sorry I was, because he didn't know he was my secret boyfriend. So I just felt absolutely terrible. And then I was heartbroken because he obviously was never going to like me after I spun him around and put him in physical therapy for a year or whatever happened. I don't know.
So I had my friends and I, when we were in like 7th grade, we decided to do a challenge with each other for 24 hours. And we said, who can get the most boyfriends in 24 hours?
Oh, dear.
Well, not one to like back away from a challenge. Angie took this super seriously. So I was in latchkey at the time.
Oh, yeah.
And I decided no matter what, I was going to beat my girlfriends. I was going to win the who could get the most boyfriends in 24ur hours.
We'll do this on TikTok.
No, I went ham. I went like, so I mean, full tilt boogie. It was, and I think maybe that's why I didn't have an issue asking people out after that, because I had law of averages. I'd done a lot. Do you want to take a gander at how many boyfriends I acquired in 24 hours?
12. Uh-oh.
Even if you add a 0, you're not right.
What? How did you find that many boyfriends?
142.
At school?
I got 142 boyfriends and latchkey. So the daycare and the latchkey, and then the neighborhood kids.
Yeah.
And then the pre.
Did you ask him, or did you give him?
No, I asked him.
Did you give him?
No, I asked. I said,
will you be my boyfriend?
And I didn't tell him. I can't remember exactly what I said, because I was like 12. But I was like, I think you're really cute. I want to know if you'll be my boyfriend. Like, it was something like that.
I mean, to be fair, that's the line I still use.
And so my friends come back and they were thrilled that they got like 4.
Like,
maybe that's why I got biggest flirt.
To shame.
Maybe that's why I got biggest flirt.
That could be an indication.
Oopsie.
Do you remember when you used to do the little thing?
Oh yeah, the paper.
Paper.
What are those things called?
Fortune thing, like you put it on your fingers and it went back. And I'm trying to describe it so you guys, because you can't.
Yeah, if you're listening to the pod, then it was like a piece of paper folded.
Fold it up, and you would put your fingers inside, and you could change it.
It had different answers, yeah.
And it would have different answers. But that's how I would try to find boyfriends back in the day.
About that.
They would just randomly have to get that
142
one.
boyfriends.
Said, would you be my boyfriend?
I didn't kiss any of them.
No, well,
not a single one.
Well, you're a lady.
Well, then I broke up with him immediately. So
yeah, you had to break up.
I left a trail of heartbreak in my wake.
Sadly,
okay, what else?
Into the merry-go-round like I did, so that's good. Okay, let's see. What about? There's a lot of really good ones in here.
I know.
First child.
So my son Kyle is 31. I had him when I was 20. And he is, I mean, he's everything. Mm-hmm. Kyle and I are super close. So he was my first child. Mm-hmm. And I've had like stepchildren.
Yeah.
Kyle is my only biological child.
Yeah. But
that doesn't mean that I have any less love for my stepkids.
Right.
But he was my first and only biological kiddo.
Okay. So
Best work of my life. Best thing I ever made.
I feel like moms tend to feel that way, but some moms don't. Like, I feel like we lucked out and we do have kids that we're really proud of. But my daughter, Riley, is my first child. I have two. So, two biological, same age as you. I was 20 when I had her. And I wrote a song for Riley.
Oh, I would love to hear it.
It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
You can see it.
Yeah. Okay, go find it there. What's it called? What will people look for?
It's called The Life of Riley is the name of the song. But
I love that.
It kind of outlines. I did it for her. I think it was at the time, it would have been it was either her 18th or her 21st birthday because it's a coming of age song. So I'll have to go look at the YouTube what year it was. I think it might have been her 21st.
I love that.
But I wrote
Did she love it or was she like?
No, she loved it and she cried.
Good.
Which she hates to cry. So she was mad at me because I made her cry. But it really, I think having kids the age that we had them at, it is a journey that you end up growing up. Well, if you're 20 and you have your kids at 20, it's different than when you become a mom when you're 30 or 35 or whatever, because you haven't even went through adulthood yet. You're at the very beginning of adulthood, and now you have a baby and a lot of responsibility. And I always think that my life really is the way that it is because I had her when I was 20, and I'm very grateful for that because it made me focus and make some really good decisions that I might not have made if I would have had those years.
It kind of forces you to
have a level to
be responsible.
Because I think I would have maybe went off and had too much fun and not got very focused.
Gotten 142 boyfriends or something ridiculous.
Yeah, I would have done something dumb like that. But she's a wonderful person. Both of my kids are. You know, I'm very proud of the kind of people that they are, and that I helped contribute those humans to the world.
I love that.
So I think your first kid is like, it's special. Not that my son isn't just as special, but there is something amazing about going through the parenting, the being a mom process the first time. Everything is kind of magical and scary all at once.
Right.
So, yeah.
I love that.
First kids, we're glad we have them.
Okay, I think we have time for probably one, maybe two more.
All right. Here we're going to go. First job.
My first job, aside from like babysitting and stuff like that, I worked at Safeway, which is a grocery store, as a courtesy clerk, which is a bagger.
Yeah.
So I was a grocery bagger, and it was a union job, and I didn't like that they took a bunch of my paycheck, and I was like, what is this bullshit?
Yeah.
But and I think it's the only union job I've held. So my first job was Safeway grocery store as a courtesy clerk.
I love it. Did you ever break any eggs?
No.
Good job.
I mean,
did they teach you how to bag, or did you just?
They did. They teach you. There's a training. Perfect. At least there was, however many years ago, a long time ago.
I worked at the local library. I was in 7th grade. I think 8th grade, I got a part-time job, like it was weekends, where I was a library aide. And what that really meant was when the books got returned, I put them in order on the carts, and I went out and put the books, reshelved them. I went out and put them back, and would help people find stuff. So I worked in a library.
I love that.
I was a library girl. I
think we should end with first kiss.
Ooh.
That's a fun one.
Okay.
So I was in 5th or 6th grade. I can't remember. 6th grade. And I was having a birthday party at my house. And one of my friends, Scott Graverson, who I'm still friends with, came up to me and he said, also an Adam. Isn't that interesting? Not the same Adam I was talking about a minute ago. Adam Brazil. He said, Adam wants to know if you'll kiss him under the deck, which we had a deck that had like a 12-foot rise. So it wasn't like we're sneaking under a deck,
romantic.
But it was like off around the shed kind of thing. So he was like, Adam wants to know if you'll kiss him. And I was like, okay. And it was very sloppy. It was very saliva-y. Wow. But
so it was moist.
It was also dreamy. Because it was like my first real kiss, where it was like a boy asked if he could kiss me, and like I just felt like Twitter-pated, and yeah, I was all about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. How about you?
I was a little bit, how old were you when you did? Well,
Like 11 or 12.
okay. So I was a little bit older. I was 14, I think, at the time. And this is a very interesting story and unique. My first boyfriend, I call, his name was Jim Ritter. And he was actually quite a bit older than me. He was like 7 years older. And if you add those up, that's a weird age difference. If you think about that, that's 14.
You were 14 and he was 21.
But here's the caveat, because that sounds bad.
Oh, that does sound bad.
Hold on.
Oh.
He had been in an accident when he was in high school, and he was paralyzed from the neck down. He was a quadriplegic.
Okay.
So this is obviously a relationship where things like he couldn't move. He was paralyzed from the neck down, paralyzed from the neck down. So I met him through someone else at school, a friend of mine, and her sister was his sister-in-law. So anyways, I met him and he was a very nice guy. He was an artist.
Okay.
He could draw. He would put like a pencil in his mouth and he made beautiful artwork. And at the time I met him, he had been paralyzed for about 4 years at that point.
That's rough. Not like that's rough, buddy, but that's actually rough.
But he was very funny. He was very smart. Just a very kind person. And I really loved him. Like I totally fell in love with him.
Oh.
Yeah. And so our first kiss was like, he asked me, like, can I kiss you? But I had to go in and do this. But so he was my boyfriend for like 2 years, 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was my first boyfriend.
Okay. That ended better than I thought it would. Cause I was like, there's no scenario you could play out where I'd be like, oh, that's a great idea.
Super lovely guy. And he ended up moving to California. And I was very happy for him. Quadriplegics that get paralyzed that young on usually have a lot of medical problems. He actually just passed away recently. It wasn't too many years ago, but he lived a very long life, much longer than they expected. He got married. He had a kid. So he had a very good life. He was a wonderful person. Good. That was my first kiss.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun talking about firsts. And before we do our rapid fire questions, we're going to, if you guys have listened to the last few episodes, we have some subscribers on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
We've been, at first it was just a couple names. Now it might take a minute to read all these, but we're going to rapid fire all of the names as a thank you so much for being a subscriber. So,
oh my gosh.
Nehemiah's Ruben, Joan, Danny the Organic Cookie, Angie, Kelly Jane, Snake Lady, Island Boy, Regina, Uniquely You Nails, Jaded Journey, Prayers for You, Anley Bailey, Goddess Creation, Jax, Tawny Jade, Ange, Macklemore and Friends, Killer in the Mist, Marie, Your Digital Hype Girl, Christine, Shenanigans with Sherry, Dragon Eye Second, Tammy, The Crafty Gigi, It's Just V, Cherie Gill, Julie Stewart Sump, Besties with Bethy, Queen Jess, Shay P, Heather on Kauai, Diana Powers, Kim Bob, Amy, Lori, Molly 555, Beats, WD Jax, Cat Blue, Sita, Shelly, Samantha Mineo, Steph Therapy Corner, Musical Phantom Goddess, Caney Nevermore Designs, Jennifer M, Cartoon Man, and Kay's Boutique. We want to say thank you so much for subscribing to us, and you mean the world to us.
You're our friends. We appreciate you.
Yes. So thank you for being our subscribers. Woo, that's 45 people.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. So now we're going to wrap with our 2 rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And these are questions that we don't know what we're about to ask. This is where the ADD comes into play.
It does.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, Angie, if you were a plant, what kind of plant would you be?
Probably a climbing ivy or something. Like something that wants to go out and see the world. I'd be a plant that wants to travel.
You know, they choke out and overtake everything else too.
That's also not inaccurate.
Oh, good.
If you could have any other hair color, what would it be?
Oh, I like to go for those real magenta, burgundy vibes. I did those a lot when I was younger, and I actually really like those. I did one once called Reflective Burgundy, and I was under lights at a school play, and it was reflective.
It was, in fact. You turned her into like a...
It did. It was quite a lot. It was like quite a lot. That's what
I love it.
Say. All right, let's see. We usually have to do a food one.
Obviously.
So we're going to have to go with food. right now in this moment, would you rather have A, a cheese stick, or B, a piece of fresh fruit?
Fresh fruit. For sure.
You're
I
a
love
foodie
fruit.
girl.
I'm a fruit fanatic. I love fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. Okay, Shelly. If we could drive to any restaurant right now for lunch, what one would you prefer? If everything was available hang on. Did you say Wingstop? If every restaurant was available to us within a 5-minute drive.
Oh, every restaurant?
Every restaurant.
Okay, then I would take you to
you
Gusto.
Take me?
Yeah, Gusto. That place we went and got the really good paninis.
Take me to Gusto. That's so lovely.
Yeah, we're going to go to Gusto. If it's 5 minutes away, you guys, it's a great place down in Oregon.
It's in Portland?
Oregon. Newberg.
Yeah,
and the guy is actually authentically
That's where the olive oil came from, right? Okay. Gusto. Mucho gusto, which means nice to meet you in Spanish. So this has been another episode of Hot Flash Chronicles podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It would mean the world to us if you would like, subscribe, maybe leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed what you heard. Thank you so much for being here. And if you have any ideas for episode ideas of things we could talk about, or if you want to tell us what your favorite firsts were, find somewhere to comment. We're on all of the socials, and we will see you on Monday. Bye.
Ciao. That's a wrap on this episode. If you laughed, related, or just need more, hit subscribe.
Check out the show notes to find us on socials and YouTube, and join our Patreon for exclusive extras.
And remember,
we're still hot, just in flashes.